Hi, you're watching India Today Global with me, Ishita Mitra. This is Race for the White House, a show where we get you the latest from the US elections. On today's show, we'll tell you how former US President Donald Trump can capitalize on the Modi factor to get support from the Indian diaspora in the United States. Also on the show, we'll tell you about a shocking report from Microsoft on Russia's growing cyber attacks targeting presidential election in the US. All of this and much more, so let's get started. If you asked Indian Americans about elections this year, a common response would be, which one? But with India's general elections out of the way, all eyes are now on November polls for the US presidential election. But with an Indian origin candidate running for the leader of the free world, Donald Trump is finding it a little difficult to mobilize the second largest immigrant group in the country. But now it seems like Trump is leveraging the popularity of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to sway the Indian voters towards Democrats. During a town hall meet in Michigan on Monday, Trump said that he would be meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi next week. The former president even went on to say that Narendra Modi is a fantastic guy.
So when India, which is a very big abuser, he happens to be coming to meet me next week, and Modi, he's fantastic. Fantastic man. A lot of these leaders are fantastic. You have to understand one thing. They're 100%. These people are the sharpest people. They're not a little bit backward. They are at the top. You know the expression, they're at the top of their game, and they use it against us. But India is very tough.
Prime Minister Modi is set to visit the United States from September 21st to September 23rd, during which he will take part in the Quad Summit. Now, reports suggest that Modi is likely to have a farewell meeting with President Joe Biden as well. The Indian Prime Minister will also address the United Nations General Assembly in New York. Now, on the sidelines of the visit, Prime Minister Modi will also be holding bilateral meetings with several world leaders and discuss issues of mutual interest. Now, with an estimated 1.8 million eligible voters in this community, Indian Americans are becoming a powerful political force in the US, especially in key battleground states where every vote counts. Although they make up just 1% of the electorate, Indian Americans comprise the second largest immigrant group in the United States after Mexican Americans. The community is also the highest earning ethnic group in the country. If you look at the figures, Indian Americans earn a median income of about $100,000 in 2015. Now, this is nearly double the national average that year. So both Democrats and Republicans are vying to win their support, knowing the influence this group could have in deciding the next occupant of the White House. Now, if you look at the numbers, Indian Americans overwhelmingly supported Democrats in the 2016 and 2020 presidential polls. In the 2016 presidential polls, about 77% Indian Americans voted for Hillary Clinton. Meanwhile, in 2020, Indian American voters overwhelmingly supported Joe Biden, with about 74% voting for Democrats. However, this time around, the Trump campaign has got some support from the recently launched organization called as Hindus for America First. The Hindu group has endorsed Trump over the Democratic nominee Kamala Harris, and the group says that Trump is pro-India in his stance compared to Harris. The founder and chairman of the group, Utsav Sandhuja, has even said that Harris could destabilize the US-India ties. So which way will Indian Americans lean in 2024? Younger Indian Americans who tend to be more progressive may continue to favor the Democratic Party, while the older generation who prioritizes economic policies and US-India ties could be drawn to the Republican side. Moreover, during Trump's presidency, he cultivated a narrative of strong US-India relations, from diplomacy to security partnerships. So this has become a key part of his pitch to Indian Americans, who Trump hopes will turn out for him in greater numbers. Trump's appeal, which combined with Modi's popularity among the Indian diaspora, could tilt the scales in key battleground states, and this includes Pennsylvania, Michigan, Florida, and Texas. So it's safe to say that Trump-Modi connection is being carefully crafted as a bridge to win over the undecided voters. But will this personal friendship translate into electoral gains, or will Indian Americans continue their long-standing Democratic loyalty? Well, we'll have to wait until 2024 to find out. Moving on, Russian propagandists are now escalating attacks on presidential campaign of Vice President Kamala Harris. According to Microsoft's latest report, Russian operatives are now producing fake videos to promote conspiracy theories against Harris. Now, Microsoft officials say that these attacks are reminiscent of similar Russian interference seen during the 2016 and 2020 elections. According to the report, the operatives had produced a video portraying Harris as an accused in a hit-and-run case. The video was seen millions of times across social media, but some viewers were suspicious. The video featured a young black woman who claimed Kamala Harris left her paralyzed in a hit-and-run accident in San Francisco about 13 years ago. In an emotional address from a wheelchair, the alleged victim said she cannot remain silent anymore and lamented that her childhood had ended too soon. After the video was posted earlier this month, social media users pointed out different reasons to be wary. The purported news channel the video actually came from, San Francisco's KBSF TV, did not actually exist. A website for the channel set up just a week earlier contained plagiarized articles from real news outlets. Moreover, the woman's X-ray images shown in the video were taken from online medical journals. Microsoft's threat intelligence report says the fabricated video was traced to a Russia-linked meme group. The report shows how Kremlin-aligned operatives have gone full throttle in their covert influence against Harris. Now, the report is the latest evidence that Russian operatives are ramping up their efforts to interfere in the US presidential polls. Earlier this month, authorities even uncovered social media influencers hired by Russian operatives to spread videos of the Kremlin's interest. In response, the Biden administration had announced a sweeping set of actions to tackle the cyber attacks on the political campaigns. Earlier this month, the Department of Justice unveiled criminal charges against 2 Russian nationals and sanctioned about 10 other individuals. US authorities also seized about 32 Russian internet domains. Moreover, Meta also imposed a global ban on Russian state television-run networks on Monday. So Meta claims that the Russian platforms had used deceptive tactics to carry out influence operations online. Now, the ban, strongly criticized by the Kremlin, marks a sharp escalation in measures by the world's biggest social media company against Russian state media. Now, as we get closer to the 2024 polls, the threat of foreign interference looms large. Russian operatives are once again at the forefront of attempts to influence the US political landscape. The stakes are high, and the focus is now on how the Harris campaign and the US cybersecurity agencies respond to these mounting threats. So now, moving on, the Democratic presidential contender is not only making headlines with her political footing, but as the election day inches closer, even her merchandise is flying off the shelves. From styling t-shirts to campaign buttons and coffee mugs, Kamala Harris merchandise is gaining popularity among her supporters. Many see it as a way to show their backing for the vice president as she prepares for the 2024 election. Harris-themed merchandise, branded with her campaign slogans and iconic imagery, has become an instant hit. The spike in sales comes as Harris's campaign gains momentum ahead of the election. Supporters are now rallying behind her bid for the presidency, and campaign gear is becoming a fashionable way to show their loyalty. Analysts say that this wave of merchandise sale is a good indicator of grassroots energy. Retailers are also cashing in. Stores have reported restocking popular items multiple times this month. The demand is high, and it's clear that Harris's brand resonates with voters, particularly young people and women. A South Asian community has even opened a website exclusively selling Kamala Harris merchandise with an Indian touch. T-shirts, mugs, and even tote bags have texts and quotes written in Hindi and asking voters to vote for Harris. The sales phenomena isn't just local. When Harris declared Tim Walz as his running mate, the Harris Walz merchandise got sold out in just about 30 minutes. And according to Axios, the fundraising from the Harris Walz merchandise have exceeded about $2 million. So with merchandise flying off the shelves, Kamala Harris's supporters are not just showing up to events, they're wearing their enthusiasm proudly. And with the 2024 election just around the corner, it's clear that Vice President's campaign is capturing hearts, minds, and wardrobes. Now, before going into poll numbers for today, we have someone with us who will help us break down the numbers for the election. Our executive editor, Geeta Mohan, sat down with Ipsos poll president Clifford Young, who will tell us about the voter trends and the neck-to-neck battle between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
It's the US elections, and what matters most are numbers, polls. Are they stacking up in favor of Trump or Kamala Harris? To talk a little more about this, I'm being joined by the president of Ipsos, Clifford Young. Clifford is somebody who has been working on numbers. Ipsos has been putting out poll data almost on a daily basis on various issues. Clifford, thank you so much for joining us here on the India Today Network. Let's just begin with the most important aspect of polling. When you're looking at poll numbers, what is the criteria? What are the issues that you focus on? And what are the issues that really matter this election?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so the first thing we primarily focus on is typically what defines the election. So the huge question is, what is the number one issue for Americans? It's inflation, it's the cost of living, and it has been over the last couple of years since COVID. And we find that that's an issue at the national level, as well as in those 6 key swing states. And let me explain that. In the United States, it's not about popular vote. It's about 50 separate state elections. And there's really only 6 states that are competitive. And we're focused on those 6. And the key issue there is inflation.
That's a very important one, because we have been looking at the stories that are now doing the rounds. The Republicans are really working on, and this is maybe a disadvantage, Clifford, for Kamala Harris, because she is part of the incumbent administration, that they're doing a comparison of the price index when it comes to the Trump era as opposed to the Biden administration, and how prices have increased. How much would that really impact? And this is a campaign strategy. But how do you think that is going to impact the swing states, particularly so because, like you very rightly explained, the blues are blues, the reds are reds, but it's the swing states. How are these stacking up of the price indexes, inflation index really going to impact the elections here?
Yeah, that's a great question. Once again, it's inflation that's the number one issue, especially in the swing states. Donald Trump has a lead there, about by 7 points. Now, Harris has eaten into that lead. But what's very, very interesting about this election is, while Donald Trump dominates the fundamentals, that is the political fundamentals, he dominates the number one issue, Harris is still slightly in the lead. And so we have this like puzzle going on, that on the one hand, she's doing better than we would otherwise have thought. And Trump is doing worse than we would have otherwise thought. And coming out of the debate, nothing really has changed in respect to that. And so what we're especially focused on right now is the relative or efficiency of each campaign. How well each campaign can hammer home the message. Can Trump focus on inflation, and he's the inflation savior? Can he paint Harris as just another Biden, just another animal of the government, of the establishment? And can Harris show people that she's empathetic to their economic plight? And so that is really the dispute right now. That is really the battle. Who's going to win the war of messages?
Okay. This presidential election is not a walkover anymore, as it seemed to be just before Kamala Harris was nominated. Having said that, did the presidential debate make any difference to where the polls are, where the numbers are?
Yeah, that's a great question. So without a doubt, Biden stepping out and Harris stepping in energized the Democratic base. She's doing better than Biden was doing relative to Trump. That's undeniable.
That goes without saying.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different race, by the way. It's everyone's pause in the United States. Americans are reflecting once again, and the debate is a great metaphor, I would say, for the campaign itself. It really showed which candidate was more effective at getting forward their message. I would say Harris was more able to than Trump, all the polling suggests that she won that debate. Now, if it changes the numbers or not, that's another question. We're going to have to wait another week. But without a doubt, she's much more on message. That is, Harris is much more on message today than Trump is. Yeah, that's we really don't know, right? We're really in unprecedented times. I mean, we've had 2 assassination attempts. We've had a debate debacle on the Biden side. We've had a switch around or switch over in the candidate. I think we just have to wait and see. Will Trump have a bump? I think that there's been so much that's gone on, probably not. But once again, it goes to the uncertainty of this electoral season.
Now it's time to talk in numbers. With less than 7 weeks remaining for the US presidential polls, the race for the White House is becoming quite intense. Vice President Kamala Harris is maintaining a narrow lead nationally and a neck-to-neck battle in the swing states. So let's take a look at how presidential contenders are faring in the polls. According to New York Times poll, Harris is now leading in the national polls with an approval rating of about 50%, while Trump is trailing at 46%. In the swing state of Michigan, Harris is maintaining a lead at about 48%, while Trump is at 47%. In the state of Pennsylvania, Harris has a narrow lead with about 49% approval rating, while Trump is at 48%. In the states of Nevada, Harris is at 49%, while Trump is at 47%. In the states of North Carolina and Georgia, Harris and Trump are both at a tie, locked in at about 48% rating. In the state of Wisconsin, Harris is maintaining a considerable lead, still at 50%, while Trump is at 47%. And in the state of Arizona, Trump has taken a narrow lead at about 48%, while Harris is at 47%. Now it's time for some quick updates from the US presidential election that you might have missed. Donald Trump has said that he got a very nice call from his Democratic rival Kamala Harris just days after he survived a second assassination attempt. Trump made the remarks during a town hall in Michigan with Governor Sanders on Tuesday night. Now, the White House described the call as a cordial and brief conversation, adding that Harris spoke to Trump directly to express that she's grateful he's safe. Moving on, Kamala Harris has called for an end to the Israel-Hamas war. Speaking at the National Association of Black Journalists, Harris said that Israel must not reoccupy the Palestinian enclave once the conflict comes to an end. During the interview, she also expressed that she is supportive of the Biden administration's decision to pause the shipment of weapons to Israel. She also emphasized for an immediate ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. And at last, after pop icon Taylor Swift, singer-songwriter Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas have also announced support for Democrat presidential candidate Kamala Harris. Now, the siblings took to Instagram on Tuesday to share their election preference. The duo also urged people to go to iwillvote.com to check their voter registration status and make a plan to cast their ballot. Both Swift and Eilish also backed Joe Biden and Harris during the 2020 elections. So that's it on this edition of Race for the White House. Stay tuned for more updates on US elections to India Today Global.